Podcasting from Woodstock, Georgia, welcome to Soul Solutions, a show where we overcome our fears and our limiting beliefs. I'm your host, author, and certified life coach, Terry Kozlowski. Hello, warriors. I wanted to let you know about a beautiful podcast called Stories of Astonishing Light with my friend, KJ Nazrel. She is a licensed psychotherapist and musician nursing a lifelong obsession with stories and conversation about mental health, resilience, creativity, and compassion. The link is in the show notes for you to check out her show. Now let's start this week's episode. Episode 43. How can you find a clear direction when you feel lost and confused? For many years, I felt very lost and confused. I was in a good partnership with my husband. The kids were grown and living their own lives. All was well, but I felt like something was missing. I had a job I enjoyed, but had nothing I was really passionate about doing. When we moved into our current home, I started exploring. I went to painting classes, yoga classes, and joined a book club. I enjoyed the discovery process I was going through despite not feeling clear about my life's direction. See, you can be happy without clearly knowing what the next step in our lives are. Remember, our life is about the journey, not the destination. So the uncertainty I felt wasn't coming from a place of fear. Instead, the confusion I was in seems to come from a place of, I've done these things, motherhood, climbed the corporate ladder, biker gang leader, but now what? I wasn't comparing myself to others. Instead, I was seeking the next level of my life. The direction I was seeking was an internal growth spurt that caused me to sit down and write my book, Raven Transcending Fear. And the new journey I undertook was nothing I could have ever imagined. But of course, when you allow yourself to be and enjoy life, it's an adventure, even when you feel confused. But how did I go from seeking a direction to actually finding one? Defining direction and why it's important. How we move forward in our lives is what I mean by direction. The internal knowing that we make our choices from a place of love and not fear. We understand we aren't comparing our lives and judging ourselves by another standard. Genuine confusion occurs when our internal and our external worlds don't align. No one can decide what directions our lives should take. Therefore, it is up to us to determine what makes us excited about life. We aren't talking about absolutes because it's an exploration. As we search, we find our own interpretations of what we like and which direction we want to move towards. Suppose we're following the voices of others instead of our own. In that case, we will have a more challenging time being happy because we're doing things we aren't excited about doing. Our souls have a path they would like us to take to become our authentic selves. But we have to learn to get quiet and to hear the whispers of our hearts for us to determine what it's saying. This silence we seek means we have to quiet the egoic voice and the voices of others, giving their opinions of what they think is best for us. We're all needed and we're all called to rise and help those around us with our gifts and talents. It's our mission. And when we are doing it with passion, it isn't work. It's an act of love. Stop overthinking. I was trapped inside my head for over a decade, thinking, rethinking, and overthinking. I did this for every decision I made, big and small, because I was afraid of making the wrong decision or missing out on something. Many times it paralyzed me to keep me from actually making a decision, which is still a choice. All the self-doubt my ego kept in place stagnated me. Yes, we should look at the potential outcomes of actions we take. Look at the possibilities and the consequences. But are we allowing this analysis to be an excuse for inaction? Remember, discomfort is a part of the growth process when we are trying new things. None of us can predict the future, but we can trust that the decision we make today that we're excited about will have an overall positive outcome. It may not be as we hoped, but it will be what we need for our next growth spurt. When we accept what is and understand that change is neutral, we can stop overthinking the decision. As we do this, we can start living in the present moment that we are given. This mindfulness allows us to be open-minded about the possibilities of today. Take action in any direction. When I was searching, I didn't stay still. Instead, I immersed myself in painting, yoga, and reading. These actions opened me up to making new connections with others and allowed my creativity to flow. My actions may have seemed a mishmash, but they all steered me towards where I am now. For example, the acrylic painting class got me into creating for my own pleasure and self-care. Through yoga, I learned how to meditate after trying for over 2 years. And book club got me back into teaching women how to overcome their limiting beliefs. Was I scared to move out and try these things? I don't think so, because I was doing something I wanted to do. I was enjoying the time. I wasn't concerned that I would take a misstep because I was excited I was taking these actions. Now, I tried watercolor painting, and that wasn't for me. I went a few times, but I allowed myself to change my mind about this medium. I took action, but I didn't have to stay on that path. If something doesn't work out, we've learned something. Now we have time to try something different. Try, question, take part, experiment, explore as you journey through life. We control the actions we take, and the more we do so, the more adventurous we become, and the more we learn about our authentic selves. The only way to see what's around the corner is to walk around it and look. There are clues to the right direction. During my exploration, I started noticing when I created, I was happy and excited. This awareness helped me see where I would lose time because I was in the flow of what I was doing. I picked up journaling again and started a conversation with myself. I asked myself questions on paper, and suddenly, as I kept writing, the answers from within would come out onto the page. Through this process, I discovered things I didn't understand before. Doing this each morning allowed me to become clear about things I liked, my desires, and those things I didn't want to do anymore. For example, by journaling 3 pages every day, I realized that I really did like to write. And as I continued this discovery process, I realized I was pregnant with a book. Did I find my new direction? Because writing my story wasn't something I ever wanted to do. Yet as I started penning my book, it just poured out of me. Through my searching and trying new things, there were clues to the new direction I was to take. I have a new purpose: write my story of overcoming the innate fear caused by my childhood trauma so I could help others do the same. I spent too long in the valley, and I could help others with a bridge to the other side of fear. Now I had a clear direction. Natural abilities propel us forward. As I moved forward with writing my book, I discovered that my innate abilities seemed to fit with my new direction. I'm a very focused and determined person. My husband says tenacious. I'm organized, a planner, and I manage my time well. I needed these natural talents to learn about the publishing industry, write the book, create a book proposal, build a website, and blog each week for 2 years before my book was released. When we are using our natural abilities, it's a confirmation that we are on our mission. It helps us stay in a flow state when we lose time because we enjoy what we are doing. It doesn't feel like work when we are done for the day. We have satisfaction with what we accomplished because we feel we've added value to the world. So what are our innate talents? What inspires us that when we are working, we are thoroughly enjoying the process? What energizes us? What are we most proud of? Write out the answers to these questions for yourself to see how to better live in alignment with your authentic self. This awareness allows us to better determine which direction we want to move towards, bringing joy and excitement to our lives. Have people who support the direction. As I was seeking my new direction, my husband, Philip, was utterly supportive. He encouraged the painting classes by building me a place in the house to be creative. He was happy that I was going to create my website all by myself. He gave me the freedom to grow as well as to take missteps without negative comments. As I moved forward with writing my book, the ladies from the book club were all supportive, asking about the progress, and when Raven Transcending Fear was released, they bought the book. I had surrounded myself with like-minded people who respected my autonomy and yet were present when I needed them to be. This belonging, I felt, is what we all need. No one is meant to be alone, and when we feel lost, we isolate ourselves, which compounds the issue. When we open up and share our new direction with others, most likely we will find support waiting for us. And if others are unsupportive, be conscious of what we should share. We don't want to be discouraged by another's negative comments, so choose not to share with those who are contrary or spend less time with them, and instead spend time with those who lift us up, provide solutions, and reassurance. Trust our instincts. Our gut response is the one that is most in tune with our authenticity. It also helps us from overthinking. When we have too much information, we overload and become immobilized and don't take action. When we take the chance that our instincts push us towards, we learn to fine-tune those gut responses. By listening to the inner voice, the whispers of our soul, we absolutely know we are moving in the right direction. Even if we take a misstep, there's a lesson or an experience we needed to have for our overall growth on this journey of life. When we find our internal light to inspire us, we discover our resilience to keep getting up and moving forward. Outside voices or distractions didn't suppress us from taking the next right action, so we pay more attention to the encouraging voices of our tribe, and we start to believe in ourselves. As we become more authentic, we realize that we can be our authentic selves and others accept us, and we no longer are trying to fit into a mold. Just be ourselves. And our direction becomes more apparent because we are no longer trying to blend in. It doesn't matter where we've been or even where we are, but we can take this moment and choose the next best action to move us towards our dreams. Moving forward in a clear direction. Life happens. We are to enjoy the journey. Although feeling lost isn't necessarily bad, it can mean that we should take time, explore, and discover. We will find the next right action to take that propels us forward in a new direction through self-discovery. It doesn't matter where we are now because you have the power to alter the direction you are moving. You get to choose the path of your life, and there is no shame in changing your course. By the way, there is only one direction we can move, and that is forward. We all are meant to take a life journey that has forward motion. When we take even the most minor steps each day, we will always move in the right direction. Continue the movement forward. Stay strong. Keep your balance. Push past any obstacles and never give up your dreams. As we become more conscious of our authenticity, we can learn to listen to our hearts and follow the path our soul desires to live the life of our dreams. Do you need support to help you find your direction? Do you want a strategy to help you overcome the ego's limiting beliefs and live a successful life? If so, please reach out to me at terrykozlowski.com and we can put together an action plan for you to create the life you desire. To hear more about my story of overcoming, check out my book, Raven Transcending Fear, now available on Amazon. The link is in the show notes, or you can go to raventranscendingfear.com. Thanks for listening to Soul Solutions with Terry Kozlowski. If you'd like the show and want to learn more, check out terrykozlowski.com, where you can find the links to everything we talked about in this episode. Please subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode as we overcome our fears and our limiting beliefs.